The Hyundai Palisade is Hyundai's roomy new three-row SUV. It's a flashy design, has advanced entertainment and driving technology, and all of the safety features you'd expect from a family-friendly vehicle. But can Hyundai take on the upscale SUV competition? And how does the Palisade compare to its Kia sibling, the Telluride? We're here in lovely Idaho to find out. Before we do though, head over to Edmunds.com for all your SUV shopping needs. Palisade! Alrighty. The Palisade's obvious competitor is the Ford Explorer because both are new for 2020 and both have 3 rows. But I think you might also consider the Palisade if you have been looking at a Lincoln. It's really all about an upscale feel in here, and everything from the materials to the stability and the noise in the cabin, of which there is very little, sort of speaks to a higher end experience. To make your shopping choices easy, the Palisade is only available with one engine, a 3.8-liter V6 that makes 291 horsepower and is coupled to an 8-speed automatic. The 8-speed has been redesigned for the Palisade, and it's a little bit smaller and more efficient, and supposed to make it just a better performer overall. The Palisade's standard front-wheel drive and is available in all trim levels with all-wheel drive. There are several different driving modes, eco, snow, comfort, sport, and a smart mode, which automatically sort of switches between sport and eco, depending on your driving, what it thinks you need. The big selling point for a big SUV is how big it is. In particular, how big it is inside. And because the Palisade is longer and wider and taller, there's more room for everybody inside of it. It's very comfortable. I had no problem getting the seat into a position that was good for me as a short person, and our very tall videographer was perfectly comfortable in the passenger seat. No complaints. Visibility in the Palisade is great, and that was specifically designed for. Part of making the upper box, shall we say, a little bit wider meant that they could move the mirror out and then make the pillar narrow, and that means that you're not trying to look around a big, thick pillar-mirror combination when you're going around turns. It works, it's really nice. Even though the Palisade is large inside, it doesn't handle like a huge vehicle. A lot of attention was paid to the handling in the design, and you really feel that when you're going around turns. It doesn't have a whole lot of body roll. It feels smaller, more car-like. Maybe it's because of the slightly sportier ride, but the seats are pretty sporty in this thing. They're wide, there's a lot of room in them. I would say they're a little stiffer than I like, but then it has been recorded before that I basically want to sit on a couch all the time. A whole raft of safety features available in the Palisade. So you can get adaptive cruise control, you can get lane centering, you can get emergency brake assist. Along with warning you if there's somebody in the lane you're about to merge into, it will also show that on a center screen if you have that option. Basic safety stuff is standard, and then you can add on some more as you go up in trim levels. There's a lot to talk about in here. You get a lot. You get a lot for not that much money. This one, which is almost everything that you can get, is $43,000. Let's just start with how I feel when I first sat into it, which is, ooh! Like seriously, I think I made that noise because there's a lot of stuff that just looks great. I love this horizontal screen and the way that it kind of wraps into the dash. It's really pretty and it looks really fancy, like something you'd see in a Mercedes or a Lincoln. It has a digital dash with easy to read gauges on either side, and then a menu that you can change in the middle. It's very bright. I love the way that all of the details in the interior sort of wrap around it. I think the door panels are especially gorgeous, the way that the door handle is incorporated into this metallic trim piece right here. It's super pretty. It's not the sort of thing you think about when you're going shopping for a car, like, oh, I want to buy a car that has a really pretty door handle. But then when you're in a car that has a pretty door handle, it's kind of exciting. You're like, oh, I'm so proud of my door. The materials don't just look nice, they feel nice. The steering wheel is soft, the armrest is soft, both sides. There are a lot of buttons happening, real buttons, actual buttons. They're not making you use the touch screen, although the touch screen works. There's a lot of room in here. I mean, there's a lot of room in the whole vehicle, but for the driver and the front passenger, a lot of that room has to do with the fact that because it's drive-by-wire, there's no need for a big shifter and a solid console. This is something that we're starting to see in a lot of cars, and this particular console does make me think a lot of the Lincolns that I've been in, where there's a pass-through underneath that you can store stuff in, and then fairly deep and separated pockets, so there's a lot of storage, but not so much that things get lost in like one big bag. It's very easy to organize. There's also a lot of clever details about the storage. Like for example, these two cup holders in the console fold away and just make a bigger storage space if you need that. And then you can just pop, pop. Oh, that's so fun. Or we can just hide all of it. There's 7 USB ports in the Palisade, so basically every passenger you have can charge a phone, because there's also a charging pad. So you can charge 8 phones at once. You can also Bluetooth connect 2 phones at once. It's neat. It works. We tested it. One of the things that's really nice about the Palisade is that it doesn't make you feel like you've given up luxury or a stylish ride. Even though it has a bunch of family-specific features, like for example, this mirror. I can see what's happening in the back seat, and a driver talk button so that I can use the speakers to talk to whoever's in the back. I don't feel like I have to be carrying a soccer team. I also feel like I could be carrying a band. I have a ton of room back here. This is the second row. Obviously, this seat is very far forward because I was driving, but even if it was back where this seat is, I'd still have a lot of room. USB ports are easy to get to. It's also 12 volt and an AC plug, heated seats, optional cooled seats in the upper trim level, your own temperature controls, plenty of cup holders, and a little phone pocket in the map pocket in the back so it doesn't drop down there and disappear forever with like the Cheerio crumbs and whatever that sticky stuff is. They made like a little diffuser ring that goes around the air conditioning vent so that the air that comes out isn't a direct jet, it's more like a nice big cone of coolness. Let's look at the third row. This is the big test. You all know that I have a long history of fighting with the third row in 3-row SUVs. Can I get into it? Will the second row stop me? Am I going to fall down and hurt myself? There's only one way to find out. That was all right, except for hitting my head on that. All right, hey, I got plenty of room in here. I got my own little window, so I feel like I could handle this on a long road trip. USB port, 2 cup holders for 2 drinks, and these seats even recline in the third row. Heck yeah. One of the reasons why the third row is so easy to get in and out of in the Palisade has to do with the design of the panels back here. There's a molded in handle right here that helps you when you're stepping up into the car. And the way that the armrest is molded right here gives you a little grab handle to get out. Very smart. Okay, so you can fit 8 people in here, and even with 8 people in here, you could still fit, I would say 5 suitcases. So a couple of you are gonna have to share, but that's still a lot of room behind the third row. 18 cubic feet, and some of it is hidden, so you can put valuables in there, or dirty stuff, because it's like a hard plastic, clean it out easy. But the really cool thing is when you start putting the seats down. Check this out. One touch, I don't even have to do anything. With everything down, 86 cubic feet. So you could fit like 25 suitcases for you and one friend who travels really heavy. Like if you're best friends with Mariah Carey. If you're in the market for a 3-row SUV, adding the Palisade to your test drive list might make you a Hyundai owner. It combines practicality, safety, technology, and luxury, all at a much lower price point than competitors from Honda, Ford, and Lincoln. For a base model shopper, I preferred the simpler Kia Telluride, but for a fully loaded family vehicle, the Palisade's gonna be hard to beat. For more information about Palisade, Telluride, and every single SUV that has 3 rows in it, visit us at Edmunds. For more videos like this, please, 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 please subscribe, and make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.